Okay, here we go. So, so you ever have some whiskey laying around, extra bottles? I do because I'm a collector, and so I literally have hundreds and hundreds of bottles, but I don't have that, I don't have those all open, but I do have some bottles that lay around that, they never got finished or anything. So this is standard Old Forester 86 proof, nothing special, but it's a decent bourbon. It's low proof. So I'm going to pour it in there. And this is, this is like part of their core line. It's a Jim Beam. It's inexpensive. These were like $15 when they first came out. They're probably 20, 22 now, something like that. This is 43%, 86 proof. Jim Beam Repeal Batch. It's non-chill filtered. It's supposed to be kind of harking back to the old days. And, it's got some stuff written here and whatnot. It's actually pretty decent for what it is. It's inexpensive. I would use it as a mixer. But you can drink this, sip it straight. Let me give a little. See what it. It's okay. Yeah, definitely a cheaper Jim Beam product. That being said, anyway, Fireball. Jim Beam makes a cinnamon. I think they make a whiskey called Fire Whiskey, and it's just sweetened with sugar or some artificial sweetener, maybe corn syrup, and it has a cinnamon flavor. They have different ones: apple, cinnamon, orange, this and that. Jack Daniels does the same thing. One of the better ones that I like is Evan Williams makes a really good one. They make a decent bourbon too. Some of their bourbons are pretty good. They're bottle and bond, they're 100 proof. But they also have, and their single barrel, I believe, is pretty good. But they also do a flavored whiskey, and Fireball being like the top brand. Everybody knows Fireball. It's so sugary and sweet. It's syrupy. Well, I kind of make my own recipe at home, or I have in the past. And it's pretty simple. You can add your own ingredients and make it whatever you want. So I'll usually put a little bit of vanilla extract in. And, you start with less so you can add more. Now, they make vanilla flavored whiskeys too. But I just kind of make I spilled some. I make I just add a mix of flavors to try to make it a little more complex and and different. So I'll add some of that, and then I have some orange extract. And orange is one of those flavors that goes really well with a bourbon. So there's a lot of bourbon drinks that have orange liqueurs in them and stuff. And so I'll put a little bit of that in there. Oop. I dropped it. Look at that, I've already been drinking, huh? And then cinnamon extract. Boy, I'm running out. So I've made this a few times in the past. So there's that. And the clear extract by itself is, it's, let me taste it. Oh, it's very sweet. It's so strong. You soak it, toothpicks in it, and you make the old-fashioned cinnamon toothpicks. Oh, these things were to die for when I was a kid. That's what it reminds me of, minus the wood. And then this is just powdered cinnamon. I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. Now, I need to add a sweetener to it. Okay? Now, the sweetener that I'm going to add honey to it. And they do have honey flavored. They do have honey flavored whiskey drinks, whiskeys as well. They have the honey, they have the apple, they have the orange, they have the cinnamon. But I'm using the honey not to get a honey flavor so much. That's why I'm going to use this lighter grade of honey. I'm putting the honey in to add some texture to the whiskey, some body, viscosity. But primarily, the honey is going in to add the sweetener that I need, because I'm not going to put corn syrup. I don't have any. And I don't really want to put sugar in it. So honey is the only thing I can come up with. You could flavor it with maple syrup or any other kind of sweetener. But you remember, your sweeteners are all going to impart a flavor to it. And honey is going to impart a flavor to it. But honey is actually pretty favorable. Honey tastes pretty good in this when you're doing, very slow to go in. When you're doing whiskey, flavored whiskeys, honey is an extremely attractive flavor. I should have poured this one directly in instead of through this little funnel, because now I got to wait for this thick honey to roll down here through this small funnel. And I didn't know this was going to be an issue, but apparently it is. And then I'm going to shake this and I'm going to taste it and see if it's got the right ratio of flavors. And now this is just, it becomes like a liqueur. And it's just a nice change up, like if you want to sip it, and have something sweet after dinner, or just any time that you just, you want to have something that's a sweetened honey, like a Fireball type of drink. But you can make your own, which is probably healthier than the Fireball, but because of the alcohol, it's how healthy is it going to be. So that's why I'll use a cheaper low proof. I wouldn't do this with one of my better bourbons. I wouldn't destroy the bourbon by doing this to it, because I sip my when I drink different spirits, I sip them because they're all high quality spirits, and rarely do I add any mix. I might occasionally have an old fashioned, but I just don't venture off too much after that. It's very rare you see a mixed drink in my hand. It's very rare you see me drinking any wine, to be honest with you, anymore, or even a beer. I can't remember the last time I had a beer, and I love beer, but I don't buy it. I guess last summer I had some. It's kind of in the summertime thing, but not now. I'm not doing it now, so. Which doesn't mean anything. I should go down and buy some. So I'm going to mix this up, because you really want to mix the honey. Get it incorporated. Now, so there's no real artificial ingredients or additives to this. So now I'm just going to taste it and see, did I hit the mark? Did I make it drinkable the way I want? As you can see, it kind of lightened it up slightly. That's probably the honey. I can smell the cinnamon. I can taste the honey. I taste the cinnamon. Okay, it needs more of something. It doesn't need any more vanilla. In fact, I probably could have got away without putting any of it in. It needs much more honey. And it needs more cinnamon. And no more orange. The orange is kind of conflicting with the cinnamon. Like I said, it's been a while since I made it. I think the last time, remembering now, I think I remember that I don't put orange when I'm making these. only put orange in certain drinks, like orange margarita or some type of an old fashioned. You can put a little bit of that orange in there. It goes well with an old fashioned, but the cinnamon doesn't go well with the orange. You would think it would. Neither does the vanilla. Let me taste this vanilla by itself, because I don't know how this tastes by itself. It's not bad by itself. This is not the best vanilla extract. It's okay. It's kind of nice label. It's okay. It's not the best though. But the best stuff, the real McCoy stuff, I mean, it's without added sweeteners, it costs an arm and a leg. Vanilla is expensive to grow and make, and produce. Now, let me try it again. There's a lot more honey in it, so it's going to be sweeter, and then there's more cinnamon. Now I'm getting there. But I'm getting an artificial taste. And I'm going to taste this honey by itself. The honey is good. So I don't think it's the honey. But I'm going to try. Here's some dark honey. I think it might need some of this. Okay. Now that's a lot of honey. Let me dump this out. I hope I don't have to end up throwing this away. Rainy day today. Been raining. All right. And here we go. Definitely, the cinnamon is overpowering it. Now we're getting somewhere. It needed more of the honey. Now, I think it needs more of the powdered cinnamon. So what I'm going to do is experiment. And I'm going to put a little bit of the powdered cinnamon in here. And I'm going to stir that up. And I'm going to see if that's what I'm missing. At least I'm going to venture to say I might be missing that. I don't know. You know, you got to concoct it, and just kind of play around with it. Now that's with powdered cinnamon. Now we're getting somewhere. It's really got that cinnamon bite. I'm adding more. This is quite a bit. I have a giant bag of cinnamon, so I'm not worried about. Okay. This is going to be spicy. That's good. Okay. That's really good. So, I guess the extract, you got to be using it sparingly, because the extract is the liquid and it's got there. Let me get, like I said, I got this. I buy this huge bags. Let me take out. Oh, here it is. Let me see. So this has. There's alcohol in here, and I think that's what's carrying over. Is that there's. It's not regular. The alcohol that's in here, it could be. I don't know if it's isopropyl or what, but it's a weird alcohol. Although it tastes good by itself, and then it's got glycerin and cinnamon oil. And when you taste it by itself, it's good. It is good, but there's a certain flavor, and I think it's from. I don't think it's the glycerin. Boy, that's spicy. I think it's the alcohol that they use in there, and that's what kind of the alcohol is what I'm tasting in here, and it's not that pleasant. So, like I said, it's been a long time since I made it. Now it's turning dark because of that cinnamon. Well, that that burned my mouth. So shake that up. Yeah, now it's dark. So let's try that. Yeah, that's really good. I still taste a little bit of the alcohol from that's in here. Of course, this has been sitting around a long time. Like I said, I don't think it's the glycerin. I think the glycerin is just to keep that. I don't know why they put the glycerin in there. To keep everything mixed together, I don't know. That's good. There you have it. Is it spicy? Is it spicy? That's an understatement. It's spicy. So I made my own liqueur. Now it tastes deceivingly benign. In other words, it tastes spicy and cinnamony. And you kind of think it's a harmless drink because the alcohol is masked. The honey adds all that sweetness and that cinnamon, all that bite from the cinnamon. It just you think it's I don't know, like a fairly harmless drink, but it's still potent. It's still 80 proof. It's delicious. And that's good. So I have these other ones. Actually, I put these here, and so I could show you. And let me retract this so you can see what I'm doing here. So I have and so I have these here. Okay, so we're going off of this here. Right. So I have, well, this is rum. Right and Brown, handcrafted in small batches. Wright and Brown Distilling Company. Barrel aged artisanal spirit. This is single barrel selection. Barrel number 27, release 2. This was barrel. This barrel was selected by the liquor store Bitters and Bottles, and I bought it from them. And they're located, I forget, I thought they're located in Florida. I could be wrong. And it's aged in Limousin oak with brandy barrel finish. And I don't know what Limousin oak is. I've never heard of that before. This is bottle 42 out of the second barrel. And the city is Oakland City. Is that Oakland, California? Made from 100% grade A blackstrap molasses, carefully selected for robust flavor and character. And that is the rum. And it's a dark rum. Well, it's just a dark colored rum made from molasses. And the proof on it, it's 99 proof. So it's 49.5% alcohol. And I love rums, especially rums with molasses, made with molasses. But really any rum. Still has some of the cinnamon in there. Ooh, that has a bite. Oh, that punches hard. I don't know why the rum is in here because this is my liqueur box. And this is sapling maple liqueur. And it's never been opened. Alcohol is 35% by volume, 70 proof. And it's just what it is. What it says, it's a maple syrup liqueur. And so the liquor could be any kind of, to try it in coffee or create your own signature drink. It's Vermont grade A maple syrup. Matured in American oak. So that explains maybe some of the dark color. From the maple forest of the Green Mountains, of the verdant maple forest of the Green Mountains in Vermont. And I don't know about the alcohol. It's just could be just pure alcohol, corn alcohol maybe. It's never been opened, and of course I'm not going to open it today. This one is a dry Curaçao, and this is an orange liqueur. Pierre Ferrand is the brand, and it's an orange liqueur. Nice label. It's got a beautiful label. And a lot of you probably have seen this in the store. Now this is used in a variety of different drinks. That's oranges. I mean, it tastes like that orange extract that I have in here. It tastes just like that. Very similar to that. In fact, I could add more of that to this and make it even more concentrated with oranges. It's good. I probably had this 5 or 6 years, maybe, yeah, at least 6 years. And I drank half the bottle, but I must have done it all in a very short period of time when I made mixed drinks before, because I haven't opened this box up in years, and I haven't had this in years. But apparently, I probably mixed it with whiskey when I would do mixed drinks. This is an Aperol, and this is this one and this one, I believe. Well, this one's a little different. This one and Campari, and this one's unopened. Campari's good. I don't know if you know that or not. If you know it, but if you know it, you know it. Beautiful color. It's just delicious. And these, because of the high sugar content in them, you could open these up and you could leave them like this, open for God knows how long. They don't go bad. This is an after dinner drink. Considered. You don't have to have it after dinner, but you would have a little bit after dinner. And I don't know why you'd have a big sweet drink after dinner, but maybe if you're having a dessert, or I don't know. I tend to would sip these just by themselves, like not so much after a meal. After a meal, you might want to have something that helps with the digestion, something with herbs and stuff like that. But original recipe, this has been around for, 1919, and the fruit that's in here is it oranges? I don't apricots? I don't know. I can't remember. But I'm going to try a little bit and see if I can pick out anything. Nice color. I'm getting like apricot. I would say apricots. Would explain the name. It says a garnish. Have this with ice and with prosecco. Combine prosecco with this. Prosecco is some other sweet drink, I guess. And garnish with an orange slice. But I think this is like apricot. I could be wrong. But that's what I'm kind of picking up. And then this is another rum, Lost Spirits, which is kind of a unique company that does really quick aging through a light process. I think they're still in business. 61% rum, Navy style rum, dark rum. This is no lightweight. Oh, it's open, good. I'll try some. 61%. This will knock you on your ass. Now, this is going to be overpowering. This is definitely not for everybody. And if I remember right, and the fact that this is almost a full bottle, I don't think I like it much. Oh, it is strong. I mean, it just smells like wet mud mixed with molasses. Oh, oh, they're not even hiding the alcohol. Oh, 122 proof. Man, that's insane. Although it is good, it's got some deep, rich flavors in it. And this is the Verna, another sweet liqueur. They're all sweet liqueurs, but this is Sicilian. Well, it says Sicilia, so I imagine it's Italian or Sicilian from Sicily. And I'm having trouble reading it. There, no, my eyes have to adjust. I wish they would describe it in more detail, but this is kind of a dark. If I remember right, this is kind of on the lines of an Aperol or a Campari, but on a darker scale. Much darker. I mean, look at the color difference from Campari to this. This. So they're not. I don't know why I'm comparing them. Besides the overall bottle shape, you notice liqueurs a lot of them tend to be skinny, tall bottles. Yeah, this one smells very appetizing. I'm picking up like plum, almost like a fig. I think I'm getting like milk chocolate. Very appetizing. But it's got a great bouquet. Very aromatic. I don't know what the proof is on this. 29%. So it's not crazy like the other ones. So 58 proof. It really carries well. It delivers the aromas. Oh, this is almost like I'm almost smelling like apple pie now. That is good. I don't remember that being that good. Maybe because everything I tasted leading up to it, I got my palate acclimated. That is delicious. Oh, I could drink a couple of those. I'll put that to the side. That's good by the campfire. Oh, that's delicious. That's much better than I remember it. Now this is really good, but I'm not going to open it. Just don't want to open it. Here's another one. This is Pedro Jimenez fortified wine. And nothing special about the bottle, but the brand they're known for making this PX, Pedro Jimenez, which is PX for short, making these fortified sherries. And this is made with Pedro Jimenez grapes. So it's going to be very sweet, very fruity. It's the casks that they use to age this in. Then they sell them to the Scots, and they use those casks and refill them with Scottish whiskey, and they make Scotch, like sherried Scotch. And this is one of the sherries that they would use from Pedro Jimenez. And so they probably buy these casks from them after they're done. Very sweet, it says. So I'm not going to open this. I kind of know what that's going to taste like. This is Benedictine. These are pricey. They're not cheap anymore. Again, this is made by the monks. I think are these made by the monks. No, this ain't the one made by the monks. Um, it might say what it is, but they wrote it's. I don't have my glasses on the print. Let me go get my glasses. This is famous or infamous, not infamous, but famous. They got this cool little thing on the wax thing there, where it's plastic that they glue on here. 27 different herbs and spices made from a secret recipe dating back to 1510. Wow. I'm glad I went and got my glasses. And this is from France, in the Normandy region of France. Um, distilled and mellowed in an extravagant palace located in Fécamp, France. Has a distinctive aroma of spices and citrus with hints of fresh flavor notes, mellowed with a touch of honey. Boy, that sounds really good. So let me try that. I'm already starting to feel it. Starting with the homemade cinnamon whiskey. Definitely taste the honey. There's definitely a lot of herbs and spices, mostly spices. The nose, like, there's just, I don't, my nose is a little bit clogged, the weather and whatnot. But it's not overwhelming on the nose with aromas. And again, a lot of times the alcohol carries that aroma. But this is 40%. This is 80 proof. So it should carry it. I'm just getting like tones of subtle fruit tones and mostly just like a mixture of spices that I can't really pick out anything I could define. I mean, it's pleasant. It's very pleasant. Very, very pleasant. But not. I just can't like single anything out. Maybe because it's 27 different things. I mean, I do pick up a hint of like the honey, but then I've already tasted it, so I'm influenced by that. On the palate, the honey really hits hard. It's not syrupy. The honey lingers. It stays on your tongue. You can taste the spices, but again, I don't know if that's cardamom. Maybe cardamom. Maybe a very subtle touch of clove. Other than that, I can't pick anything out. It's good though, but I just can't sit there and decipher it. I can't sit there and pick out stuff. It is what it is. It doesn't mean anything bad. Now here's chartreuse. Hence the color. They have a chartreuse that's green, and they have another one that's yellow, I think. And this is the green, which is considered a step up. I buy them in $3.75, so at least I have. I've had this for years. This is 55%. This is 110 proof. Again, from France. And this is the one made by the Carthusian monks. It's made by the monks from a centuries old recipe with, again, like all different kinds of herbs and spices and stuff. And again, another secret method, secret formula from 1605. 130 alpine herbs go into this. The only liqueur to have a color named after it. So chartreuse came about as a result of the name of this. It has a famous for its flavor and fragrance, which is totally unexpected, remarkably beguiling, unique in all of the world. It is the most popular mixed with tonic and soda in a tall glass with ice, accented by a slice of lemon or lime. Okay, now I already know what this is going to be, and the colors, it's just beautiful. A translucent lime green. It's beautiful. Oh, the citrus just knocks you right on your ass. It's the first thing. It's so strong. Lime. I'm not getting lemon, I'm getting lime. Which, understandably, the chartreuse. And that's all I'm really getting. But it's like I just cut a lime in half and I'm smelling it. Like a fresh lime. Not a dried up lime, a fresh, vibrant lime. Oh, I can smell that. I can smell that for a long time. And it delivers on its promise. It brings the lime, but it brings the sugar with the lime, the sweetness. It's not a honey sweetness. It's not a candy sweetness. Well, not really a candy. It's just a subtle sweetness, a pure sweetness. Almost as if the lime just grew and became sweet. Like it was a natural sweetness. That is just, for summertime. This can't be beat for summer. Over ice. I mean, and it's expensive. I forget what these cost, but that's why I bought it $3.75. They're so expensive. 2 fingers over ice in a tumbler with a setting sun after a good swim. And maybe around a little fire, just for ambience. Beautiful woman. And all your troubles would just melt away, at least temporarily. Oh, I could just go there right now. Oh, God. Would that be a time, huh? That would be a moment to savor. Now, this is Chambord. And some of these names, if I'm butchering them, it's because I'm not an expert. I'm more of an expert on the things that I collect, and even then, I'm not an expert on that, but probably a little bit more than the average person. I mean, I've tasted many. I've read the history on a lot of them, and how they make it and whatnot. So I do have a little bit of background in that as far as knowledge. This is black raspberry liqueur, and this can be overpowering if I remember right. This is 16.5% alcohol, 33 proof. So this one doesn't kick your butt. This one's going to be extremely fruity, minus the strong alcohol. I'm assuming. This is blackberry. What does it say? It's I'm being influenced. Black raspberry. If I hadn't read that, I might first say blackberry, which I did. Now I'm thinking dark raspberry, or blackberries and raspberries together in a pie. A consomme, like before you make the pie. See, now the raspberries are really coming through. but a dark raspberry, a blackberry raspberry. The nose is, you know, it's not offensive, but it's not something that it just, you're going to get over it real fast. It drinks better than the nose. It does lack a punch. It's not carrying a lot of alcohol. It is dulled. You could put a clear spirit in there and punch it up, and it would deliver better. This could use a little higher proof of just some regular white liquor to really kick it up and deliver that fruit to your palate better. But on the plus side, you can drink a lot more of these. It's sweet, but it's not watery. It's almost like a natural sweetness. It's good. It tastes better than it smells. And this, although it doesn't smell offensive, but it does taste better than it smells. And it would be a good additive for certain drinks. I'm not offhand. I can't say what. Maybe drinks with vodka, to give them some flavor. I don't think it would go with bourbon, but I mean, I think it's just I think it's just some kind of white liquor. Like a blackberry raspberry martini, vodka martini. It's not bad, and I think that it brings it to an end because like I said, I'm not going to open some of them, and so there you have it. The Averna, I'm going to build a fire and I'm going to sip some of this because I'm not going to work out because I need another off day, and so and work got canceled for tomorrow. So I'm gonna sip and have a couple. I'm gonna slow cook some pork steaks. My son loved that recipe I did a few days ago, where I made that simple sauce for this and I slow cooked them. And these are very similar to that. These would probably be better; they're a little more fatty. So I'm gonna do that and put them in the oven, slow cook them. I made some rice, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hang out, and I'll probably I'll see you out by the fire. If you want to hang out there for a bit, that's fine with me. All right. So anybody who watched any of this, I really appreciate it. And I'm not doing it just to get noticed or get views or anything like that. I'm just down to doing it because I really like filming. I like editing, I like creating content. It's a hobby that I'm doing, and it happens to be a hobby that I can share. A lot of my hobbies in the past, other than people coming over and seeing what I'm doing, I never was able to share them, but I could share this. And in a sense, it's a little bit therapeutic as well. I mean, without getting too deep into it, it does kind of help me a little bit to share. Because, I don't have a lot of people coming over for visits. And that's because that's just the life I live. And I think some of you could probably relate to that. We start off in life with a million friends. And some of us continue to hold on to that or develop new friendships where others just fade away and, things happen in your life and you end up getting reclusive. And then you may or may not get back to where you were before, but because you're not quite the same person. And but there's nothing wrong with that as long as you land on your feet and you become, weathered, but a little bit, but a better person, moving forward. I mean, we all choose who we want to be, but some of that is influenced by our experiences in life. And some of it is also about the choices we make or don't make. And then again, some of it's just about what we want to, who do we want to go to bed with? Like, do we want to sleep with ourselves if we're not a good person? And there have been times in my life where I went to bed and I didn't like who I was in bed with, and I was alone. So, if you know what I mean. So I don't have those anymore. But I struggle a lot, with certain family issues and things, and I got to stay strong for that. And so I just plug along, and no different than, I mean, I got off the phone with a friend not this afternoon, and they're struggling as well with a loved one, and um, and they're on the decline, and I really can have a lot of empathy for that. First of all, I have a lot of respect for this person for doing what they're doing. They don't abandon their responsibility. They stick with it, even though it's a struggle, and they know that there's, things are not going to get better. They're going to get worse. You really got to admire those type of people. I mean, because that's what I'm doing, and I've been there, and the ones that run, they lack character. They lack the purity of soul. Sure, that they're going to have an easier life, but when it's all done at the end, who's going to really love and respect them? The people that really know them probably won't have as much love and respect for them as they will for the person who is righteous. And don't get me wrong, I have my fun, and I have had my fun, but I temper it. I don't go crazy out on a limb, and I don't take on things that I know I can't handle. So I'm not in a relationship now, not because I can't be, but because it's just not right for me right now. It's just I don't feel it. I just don't feel it. Um, I I I feel like in the short term I would be satisfying some physical urges, but I would be sacrificing. I'm not ready mentally, and then what's going to happen? It's just going to fall apart. It's just going to become a mess, and whoever gets involved with me is just going to be upset with me in the end, because then I'll just fail. I'll fail to be there in the long term. So maybe next year, or the year after, but right now I'm not into it. I'm not sure what I'm into. Well, that's not true. I'm into what I'm into. You know, most of the stuff that you see in my videos is not like a fabrication. It's pretty much me. I mean, I do a few videos where I'm play acting and I dress up and I pretend I'm this or that, or you can tell those. But for the most part, it's me. This is so. It's who I am. Um, you know, it's just who I am. I'm just another human being like anybody else, and I just want to be. I want to get through life every day and live and try to get some enjoyment out of it, and I want to improve. I want to improve. I want to get better. I always want to get better. I don't want to get worse. I want to get better. I'll never again get myself in a position in my life where I'm just going to fall apart and get worse. And I've been that way, and I'm not going to go back there ever again. I don't want to be a failure. I don't want to be an emotional failure. I don't want to be a physical failure. I don't want to be a failure. Not when I can be a winner with a little bit of effort. And by failing and winning, I don't mean there's no trophy. I just mean how I feel internally. How I feel about myself, and the way I portray myself, and that's about it. I think that's all you could do. Well, none of the other stuff doesn't really matter. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that you do and you can do, and that's all great. But think about what really matters. When you really get down to it, at night when you're alone and you're laying in your bed before you fall asleep, that's when you have purity of thought. Think about that. Think about who you are and who you want to be and how close are you to that. And what do you need to pick up to where are you lagging? I mean, don't be too hard on yourself, and take everything in small steps. But I mean, for Christ's sakes, make some steps, steps in the right direction, enhance your life, make little progresses, little things. You're going to get set back. You're going to do this and do that. But overall, you want to be always trying to move forward. Even if it's just one little step at a time, just move forward and resist the urge to ever give up. Don't lose your cool. Think past the moment. If you're in a bad situation, you're not feeling right, think past that. Think outside the box. Think about, well, how did I handle this in the past? What's the best way to get through these stressful times and things like that? So, I can't give you specific advice. All I can do is to say, you know what you got to do. And if you know what you got to do, then do it. Do it. Practice it. Because if you practice it, you get better at it. Anyway, I'll see you later.